Yo, tuned in, it's that time again. Welcome to the show under the bright zen. Just another messenger bringing the news with the beat in your soul. Let's light up these views. We're diving deep, no time for snooze. Grab your headphones, let me share the clues. In a world so loud, where voices collide, we find the rhythm, let the truth be our guide. Hit that play button, feel the vibe. Every second counts, let's take that ride. From stories untold to laughs we share. Just another messenger, we're always there. Hi. It's a jam, just sit back and unwind. With our flow and our style, it's one of a kind. Life's a mix, just like a DJ spins. We serve you the truth where the journey begins. It's a jam, we're all in this together. Sound waves linking us, no matter the weather. Just another messenger, we keeping it tight. With every single drop, we rise and ignite. Yeah.
Good day. I'm your host, Tamara L., and welcome to another installation of Just Another Messenger, where we raise to situational urgency and consciousness regarding today's current events. We'll dive deep into the historical past by examining the philosophies, legal system, and political decisions that continues to influence our daily lives. So please join the conversation during the episode. Your comment matters. Hit the subscribe, share, and like button to be a part of more thought-provoking conversation in the future. You wouldn't want to miss it. And don't forget to visit our website at www.justanothermessenger.com that connects you to all our social feeds, online merch store, and our link to support the work via Cash App at $JustAnotherMessenger. So let's get started. All right, good evening. Let's get started. Welcome back to season 2, episode 5 of Just Another Messenger. I'm your host, Tamara L. Let's go ahead and get this thing started tonight. So tonight we close the circle. Tonight we bring together the 2 most powerful investigations we've ever done. And on this episode 3 of Council of Nicaea 2025 and episode 4 of Hidden Zodiac and the government, the 2 stories seem separate. However, they were always one, and we're going to make that connection because behind every council that ever declared truth and behind every government that ever legislated order was the same cosmic strip, the same spiritual architect, the same hidden zodiac. And tonight, the veil finally lifts, just as the curtains lifted on the Wizard of Oz. So this is the reckoning that we're going to look into: the convergence, the unveiling, as well as welcome to the finale, the unveiling, when heaven, earth, and empire meet their reckoning. Like I said, this is the true Tamara L. And tonight we're witnessing the alignment that changes everything. All right, now we have a lot to unpack here regarding merging the 2 episodes into the finale. Now, as we talked about episode 3, where we went over the Council of Nicaea 2025, and in episode 4, last week episode that we aired on Friday, we talked about the hidden zodiac and the government. Now let's look at that. Let's just go ahead and get into it for tonight. But before we do that, let's get some housekeeping rules. Don't want to forget those housekeeping rules that we got here. And this is what I want to do. I want to always run this banner at the bottom because who is that? YouTube always seem to want to play funny business at the end of our episode. So we're going to run that banner. We're going to let that run banner. And we're going to give thanks also to our first responder this evening. We have Wayne Barbe. Thank you. Just Another Messenger. Thank you. Thank you, Gwendolyn Hennessy, thank you very much for your love and support of Just Another Messenger. Let's help continue to keep these messages flowing, continue to share the information so we can get out into the algorithm space. But let's go ahead and put this information up so people would know how to do that. Let me see here. We're going to keep that little turkey wagon up. We have Thanksgiving coming up. We're going to keep that up. And also what we're going to do, we're going to spotlight our information, our overlay, so people can know how to support. All right. How to support Just Another Messenger. You can do that by like, share, subscribe over on our YouTube page at Just Another Messenger. Also, you can follow us on our X at jam _404 podcast, or you're someone you know would like to be a part of the show. Please send a friendly email to justanothermessengerpodcast at gmail.com. And as always, thank you for your loyal support and thank you for your contributions, and continue to support alternative media via our Cash App at $ Just Another Messenger. So that's how you can also continue to be a part of that. And I'm going to also put up the way you can shop through Just Another Messenger. That's our QR code, but you can shop with Just Another Messenger at justanothermessenger.etsy.com. And if you forget any of those that I've said to you, how about you just go to our landing page at justanothermessenger.com, and everything is featured on there. And that's our QR code there. So yes, thank you very much. So we're going to take that down, and we're going to go ahead and get started here because we have much to do this evening. Now, before we do that, let's do this. Let's give our disclaimer because, like I said, YouTube always like to hit us with the strike at the end of our broadcast. So Just Another Messenger is a platform dedicated to public education, historical awareness, cultural critique, and transformative discussion under the protection of Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976, commonly referred to as fair use. Just Another Messenger does not provide statutory counseling for any United States Court of Law jurisdictional proceeding. Now, the content presented by Just Another Messenger may include excerpts of copyrighted material, such as images, audio, video, and written works, for the purpose of criticism, commentary, news reporting, education, scholarship, and research. All such usage is non-commercial in nature and intended to stimulate public discourse, raise consciousness, and support transformative learning. All right, we do not claim ownership over any third-party copyrighted material used. All rights and credit belong to the original creators. So if you are the copyrighted holder of any material featured and have concerns regarding its use, please contact us directly via email for prompt resolution. All right, people, there's a lot going on in this YouTube space. We had to send a copyright infraction against an organization because they were using our slogan, more than just talk. We're not going to allow that. We work too hard to get these truth messages out, and we're just not going to have someone who's in the gossip column section using our information. Yes. So let's get started with tonight. All right. Now, before we talk about the 2025, we're going to revisit the moment everything changed for us. And this was the Council of Nicaea of 325. And it was a council called by an emperor, right? And the emperor, he created a creed that voted it into existence. And it was the Nicene Creed. And this was a spiritual empire forged overnight. Truth became political divinity, and divinity became property. Now, scripture also became state law. So if you want to know where the state laws derived from, they derived from political through the divinity became property. Your divinity became property of the church, and the scripture then transferred over to what is known as statute, codes, and ordinance, state law, because before that you had maxims and you had divine and natural law. And here's the part of history that people refuses to teach about. Nicaea wasn't a religious event. It wasn't a religious event at all. It was a very powerful consolidation that continues to the day, known as the Vatican. Okay. Now, when a council votes on the truth, it isn't protecting divinity. it's protecting an empire. So let's go ahead and fast forward. Let's go ahead and fast forward to now, which is 2025. And there's another council that's not in robes, that's not in temples, but they're in boardrooms, data centers, platforms, algorithms, and global legislation. Now, the new Nicaea, they hide behind the code, the guidelines, and guess what? The terms of services. And these terms of services are what are known to be called terms of adhesion, which means terms of contract that are one way. And anytime a contract is written in one way, that contract is actually void ab initio, is actually void at face. But the average person doesn't know this information, because what happened is that a contract that is written one way, the writer places ambiguity in the contract. And anytime a contract is challenged, because it is a contract of adhesion that's called terms of services, it must be challenged. And when it is challenged, the courts, the administrative process, must favor the person that did not write the contract, because it was a contract of adhesion. So all these platforms and demonetization and censorship, these things must start being challenged, because the word terms of service or the community guidelines of standard, you have no way to go in there and make any type of rebuttal of the contract. So when you look at the terms of a contract, it has no withstanding. So which means it's void on its face. All right. So the old council, they voted on theology, and the new council, they votes on information, speech, identity, and worldview. So this is the same intention, the same pattern, the same blueprint. But let's get into the area of the return of the cosmic law. Now, we featured this information last episode called Hidden Zodiac in the Government. Please go back and look at season 2, episode 4, because I'm not going to go into it this evening. I'm just going to give you a brief recap on this. Now, before Rome had defined belief, before government even defined freedom, before religious defined God, the sky had defined everything. And this zodiac was the first legal system. I'm going to say that again. The zodiac was the first legal system, and the constellations were the first constitution. So the solstice, the equinox, they were the first courts of time. And you're experiencing that right now. You're still experiencing that. So empires, they learned that legitimacy came from the celestial alignment. They learned that coordinations timed with stars, wars were launched on eclipses, laws are passed on solstices, and kings are crowned under the Venus transition. The Venus transition starts during the Libra, the justice season. And that is the Libra zodiac celestial. And that starts on September the 23rd to October the 23rd. So this is where kings are crowned under that Venus transition. Now, this is the law governments still follow slightly. Just sometimes they're slightly off basis. Okay. Now, because the cosmic timing is the one thing no government can rewrite, power rises with the sun. All right. And power falls with the moon. Now, cycles rule empires, not constitution. All right. Now, the ancients do this, in which it is this cycle in which they are still operating on today. And modern governments, they pretend that they're not aware of this. They pretend that, when they're having the mainstream media, the talking points appear to be baseline based off just political governance, but it's not political governance. You have to start looking at the divinity that is behind the laws that they tend to now place the people under subjugation. That, like I said before, that is the restoration, the post millennia. That is your reparation as well. When you start understanding the divinity of the law and to be able to come out of the entrapment of it. Now, but every action exposes its truth because the sky still governs the state. And let's look at how the sky still governs the state. Now, we talked about this, like I said, in season 2, episode 4 last week. The sky still governs the state by way of Isis. The treaties of Isis and Isis speak. This is the mysteries of Isaac, which when you say, what is my horoscope? Hora comes from Horus, which is the eye, which is the son of Isis. The treaties of Isis is sometimes called the saying of Isis to her son Heru, or the mysteries of Isis in Osiris. Now, Isis is the embodiment of the cosmic feminine principle, one who reveals the hidden laws of nature, time, and initiation. You must be initiated back into the divine cosmic law. And she speaks to Horus as the teacher of the sacred order. And I am she that is all that has been, is, and shall be, and no mortal have lifted my veil. But the Wizard of Oz veil got lifted. Now let's look at this. Let's look at the treaties of Isis. And we're going to look at that by now we're going to arrive at the force behind the heavens that one every ancient empire had worshiped and every modern empire fears, and that is Isis, the cosmic realm. This is the area that is feared the most. And this is not a myth. This is not a symbol. This is the embodiment of the cosmic law, natural order, and universal mystery. Now, and I'm gonna come back online and I'm gonna make this very clear. I was having a conversation, right? And we were talking about how do you know? How do you know that the celestial bodies is actually a part of us? And I was reminded of when I started this journey years ago, and the teacher that I was being taught through, this is one function that hit home. And I'm just going to pass this on to each and every one because they have transitioned to a greater realm, right? So I was told that if you can't see yourself in the water, in the flowers, in the fruits, in the animals, in the dirt, in the wind, in the fire, if you can't see yourself in any element other than a human form, you can't see yourself at all. That's a powerful statement. That statement is so powerful because once you start making the connection between those elements that are divinely created before humanity, you will start operating in your divinity. And when you start operating in your divinity, you thinking about it to be able to vote, that would be a joke to you because now you will start operating. You will be in a position to now you would want to go and clean up and make the wrong right. So not just casting a vote of which side of the wing you will lean heavy to. You will now start in a way of restoration or restoring humanity to its harmonic frequency. You'll start moving in that way. And that's a heavy crown to wear because it takes a lot. It takes the killing of the ego. It takes the, putting away things that no longer serves you. It no longer is a part of your body of movement because now you're moving in a way that is divinely laid out, a path that's laid out for you to be able to walk freely in unapologetically. You wouldn't get caught up. There will be a solution base in your everyday journey waking up. So I wanted to just share that with each and every last one of you. So I want to and hope that statement. Yes, I hope that statement is able to resonate. And I hope the next time that you look at something other than another human, that you'll be able to now connect and identify with it. So I wanted to pass that over to you. And let's look at here how, like I said, Isis is not a myth. It's not a symbol. It's the embodiment of the cosmic law, the natural order, and the universal mystery. And her declaration was no small statement. And as I said, this statement that was written, that is defined. We say, I am she, that is all that has been and still be, and no mortal has lifted the veil. Let's look at what this veil is. The veil is the hidden architect of the cosmos, it's the cosmic law behind all laws. It's the zodiac behind the government timing. So when someone say, I don't do the zodiac, please tell them to disengage the GPS from the system, from their vehicle, from their cell phones, from anything else. And even if you learn it, and don't pick up a map, because that too is guided by the latitude, longitude, the meridian, and the frequency that is laid out in the zodiac method. So don't use any tools that were used to be a guide to be able to navigate this earth plane. Don't ask what time it is. So if this is something that you feel that, oh, this is voodoo, this is hocus pocus, you must reevaluate the understanding of that, because that comes from an indoctrinated mindset, and it removes you away from your divinity and keep you in a mental construct of subjugation. You yourself, as Kanye has stated, and this was a profound statement, and not many people understood it. It was bold when he said slavery is a choice, because in 2025, slavery is becoming a choice with the vast amount of information that is flowing on these airways. It is becoming a choice to stay enslaved. So the veil is the hidden architect of the cosmos, the cosmic law behind all laws. It's the zodiac behind governing timing, and it's the cycles behind the rise and the fall. Now, Isis is considered the mother of the cosmic order, which means every government, religion, or empire that violates these cosmic law, and I tell you, they are being violated to the utmost at this appointed time, will eventually collapse. Let's keep in mind, Rome failed, Babylon failed, Greece failed, the Ottoman Empire failed, the British Empire failed, and whosoever is in line next will fall. And why is this? Because man made law cannot outrun cosmic law. I'm going to say that again. Man made law cannot outrun the cosmic law. And now 2025 is another turning point. And that turning point is going to have to deal with the return of the Black Rite in the ISIS. And that's dealing with the governmental order. And when we're talking about the governmental order, we're talking about the etymology of government. We're talking about the mind. You have to return back to your mind. The Black Rite of Isis is returning back to your own mind, not transferring the representative responsibility over to someone else. It's a returning of your mind. It's returning back to mother. As you're home, Dorothy. You're home. You're returning back home. Now, the Black Rite of Isis, it was the night initiation, the descendant into darkness before light is reborn. Now, what does this rite symbolize? It symbolizes the deepest night, the longest silence, the womb of transformation. It's the moment before an awakening begin, because this is what happens during an awakening. They have this thing called the anti-woke movement. Then they have the Great Awakening movement. Let's try to figure out what's the difference between the two. Nothing. Because the woke movement is a past participle. When you understand parts of speech, it's a past participle of the word awake. All right. So, therefore, if there's a great awakening in a movement that's taking place, why can't one declare that they are already there? Because that is manifesting. So what appears is they don't want you to now start using your magic and your science to manifest and project because they understand that that's where the magic lie. That's where the unraveling will take place at. So of course we have to dismantle this woke movement. We have to dismantle that, and we have to keep them in a paradigm that, oh, that is someone else. That is someone else. The way of paradigm the movement, but oh no, not the people that's in subjugation. Oh no, we can't allow that rising to take place. And we're talking about the spiritual rising. We're not even talking about the physical rising, because you can't even rise physical in this society unless you get your mind right. That's why I say this is the rise of ISIS through the Black Rite. So yes, that's what's taking place here. So all the empires, they reenact the Black Rite politically. How do they do that, Tamara? They push people into darkness. They suppress the truth. They rewrite narratives. They restrict sovereignty. They bury divine feminine wisdom, which is powerful. The wisdom of the feminine is the unlocking. That is the magic. They create the illusion of control. But then the solstice arrives, which is going to be arriving on December the 19th. This takes place quite often. The light returns, the veil lifts, and every suppressed truth bursts out like a sunrise. That's the illumination of the mind. Now, that is the pattern of the revolutions, awakening, civil rights, spiritual renaissances, and the collective consciousness shift. There can't be a collective consciousness unless there is an individual consciousness first. You can't go connecting with so many people without getting your mind, getting your government, getting your governance, getting your mind together. So, but this helps with the collective consciousness once all come within their Black Rite return. The government mirrors the Black Rite because the government cannot escape the cosmic law. And let's look at that. Let's look at this reckoning that's going to take place behind the Black Rite in the government. Now, we're going to step into that. Let's look at the cosmic reckonings that's taking place. Now, we talk about all the eclipse that has taken place throughout 2025, and I mean it has been. You had an eclipse that took place in March. I think I want to say March the 21st, and then you had a great solar eclipse that took place on September the 21st. Go look it up. Go look and see. Let's look at understanding of what that means. Now, the first eclipse, the first cosmic reckoning that's going to take place is the eclipse over the power centers. Now, eclipses has always marked something, a shift that must take place. Political scandal, check. Sudden revelations, check. The fall of leaders, check, 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 check. Major societal resets, check, check, check. I mean, it's been going down in 2025. Don't think that had anything to do with Trump and his administration. Oh no, this is cosmic timing. It's, my grandmother, my mother said when her mother, my mother's mother, which is my grandmother, she transitioned when my mother was 7. So what she remembered about her mother is that when things about to happen, she said her mother would rock and say, oh yeah, baby, it's reckoning time. It's reckoning time. It is cosmic reckoning time. Now, we should be like feeling some brand new days around here because it is going down. Now, the ancients feared and respected eclipses because they interrupt the natural order, signaling that the hidden wisdom has now becomes visible. So you remember in the Wizard of Oz when Toto ran behind the curtain and Dorothy did not care. She wanted her dog back. She didn't care what took place. She ripped that curtain over and they realized, oh, you're just a man. I thought you was a wizard. Yeah, reckoning time. So the 2025 eclipse patterns. Now, what happened? What is happening during that? This is the fall across Washington, D.C. corridor. Check. Global trade hubs falling. Check. Financial system. Oh, we got a battle going on between Brexit, crypto, the fall of the dollar. Check, 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 check. Technology headquarters. Oh, they're putting up all these data centers. They're siphoning the essence because they need the melanin to feed into this thing. So it's like what it's like what's the word? It's like dark crystal manifested. So if you haven't watched the movie Dark Crystal, go watch it. So that's what these data centers are like. It's like dark crystal manifested. Okay. Now, when eclipses hit these power nodes, what we're gonna have? We're gonna have governance shifts. We're gonna have exposure increases. Oh, we in the last days of this. This is just this is just beginning. We're gonna have secrets unraveled. Epstein popping out, popping out. All agreements is going to break. Doctrine of discovery. It's gonna break. So why Pope Leo is pointing fingers one way? How about Pope Leo point a finger at the Vaticans, the popes, and go ahead and repudiate the doctrine of discovery? Oh, you don't have to worry about it because the Great Mother's going to take care of that. All right. New powers are going to rise. Who are those new powers going to be? Oh, people say, oh, you might as well start learning Mandarin, French, and things like that. No, the new power is going to be you. The new power is not going to be someone else. The new power is going to be you. It's going to be returned back to the people. So political and cosmetic timing intersect. Now, this is the first Council of the Sky event. That is the first reckoning that's going to take place. Now, let's look at another cosmic reckoning that takes place here. This took place where Jupiter and Uranus alignment. This was a revolutionary alignment that took place. You see Jupiter? You see Uranus? Let's get into what happened with this. Jupiter represents expansion. It deals with laws, governments, belief system, and ethics. Now, when two things are facing each other, that's called a conjunction. Now, Uranus, look at Uranus. That deals with shock, revolution, liberation. That's what Uranus deals with. Now, this is the disruption, rebellion, innovation, as well as technology that's taking place. And when the two align, aren't they? Didn't they align? It has already begun. When they align like this, when Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus start looking at each other, that is a new beginning. Saturn, Neptune, we're going to look at those two, Jupiter and Uranus. Yes. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Brother Bay. Let's talk about interrectum. Yeah, because I don't think people understand that. I don't think people understood interrectum, what took place. Okay, so on October the 1st, before Sukkot, we'll try to define this to you. I'm gonna come online. Now, on October the 1st, the government shut down the Service Corporation. I have to put this in the right term. The Service Corporation for the Society of the People shut down. But the governance, which means the mental of the people, the sovereign people that's under subjugation, should have rose. So what took place on October the 1st? What the Service Corporation has shut down, as stated, there was a process that took place called interrectum. During the interrectum, of a shutdown, there must be a rise in governments to take place. What happened? Now, why did the sovereign people take the seats? It's great to have these titles and play around with them, but don't play with it. Get into it. Don't play with titles such as sheiks, sultans, grand wizard. Don't play with them. When the interrectum went down, when that happened on October the 1st, there should have been a rise in the governance. That didn't happen. So there's still work to do. So with this Jupiter Uranus revolutionary alignment, when that took place, when these two empires fall, we saw that revolutions erupt. We're seeing that technology leaps forward. We're seeing that AI, 3-eye atlas, new leaders appear. They may not be the type of leaders that we would want to appear, but technocratics are starting to pop up and appear. Old systems short circuit. Yeah, the 250 years that the U.S. has been in usurpation of the land, that system is short circuiting, or it's taking place already. This alignment, it only comes around every 14 years. But in 2025, it hits at a moment when the world is already destabilized. Before that, we had the wars taking place between Ukraine and Russia. You had the wars taking place with It's Not Real in Palestine. You have the other wars that's taking place around the world, dealing with Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. You have wars after war. These ain't rumors of wars. So you got wars after wars after wars going on all throughout the entire global system, because the earth is destabilized off her axis. All right. So what it activates in 2025, it has activated political upheaval, technological uprising, public awakening, exposure of corruption, corruption after corruption after corruption. I mean, being revealed. Liberation movements. Yes, liberation movements are taking form. They're taking off. It's time to just get in formation. Sovereignty consciousness. Now, I know someone told me this sovereignty shit don't matter. And my response was, this sovereignty shit don't matter. Why is all these wars going on? Oh, it matters. Now let's look at how Pluto in Aquarius is dealing with this cosmic alignment that's taking place. Now, Pluto in Aquarius, this deals with power to the people, harmony, the lotus, the just all the beautiful things that are taking place in nature and harmony, and everything becoming harmony in alignment. It's stabilizing the earth, shaking that old stuff off, restabilizing earth. Now, what does Pluto in Aquarius look like with the power to the people? Now, this is one of the biggest transient of the century, where Pluto represents power, control, hidden systems, destruction, and rebirth. Whereas Aquarius represents the people, humanity, communities, networks, technology, and revolution. Now, don't get it twisted. Technology has been around since beginning of time. It's just how you use the technology. Whichever hands it falls in, it can be for help or it can be for harm. Now, when Pluto enters Aquarius, the power shifts from a hierarchical system into the hands of individuals and collectives. Historically, Pluto in Aquarius, it This is what happened. This is not new. These transits take place within your body, your solar physical body, and it takes place in the celestial realm. So let's look at when the Pluto in Aquarius brought about before. It brought about the American Revolution. It brought about the French Revolution. It brought about the end of monarchs. And the rise of new governance models has taken place. This is documented and charted just as the Dogons charted Sirius with the naked eye. And others had to wait to get a telescope to try to confirm what they had already written, the message that they had received from Mother. Yes, they received that message. So now it returns in this Pluto in Aquarius. It returned in 2024, and it's going to go all the way to 2044. And 2025 is where it has now fully become activated. And this is why it's called the fall of empires and the rise of sovereigns transit. That is what is taking place. So you don't have to worry about voting red or blue, because Mother is rising, and she's gonna make sure you're on the right team this time. And let's look at how she's doing that. Saturn. Yeah, Saturn. Saturn is dissolving these old belief structures. That old Saturnalia. Yeah. These Saturn rings, they had started vanishing from the Earth's view on March the 23rd of this year. And what does Saturn represents? Saturn represents structure, authority, systems, and stability. Now, in 2025, Saturn is moving through Pisces and approaching Aries. What does that mean? In Pisces, it dissolves illusions. Yeah, you won't be delusional anymore. Someone can't feed you an old story without having full concrete evidence of the depths of the information that's being presented. That's why I love these PowerPoints. Don't believe me. Take the information, go do your due diligence and your research yourself. Just as I spend hours pulling information together, research, you too do the same thing. I love giving this information out. Just support the channel. Just continue to support the channel, and so we can keep this thing alive. And how do we do that? How do we continue to support the channel here? Let's pull that up. You support the channel by like, share, and subscribe at Just Another Messenger over on our YouTube page. Get the algorithm up, get more people coming. You also join us on X at JAM _404 podcast. We're working on others. We're working on moving over to Rumble. We're working on moving over to other platforms as well. You know, if you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, send an email to Just Another Messenger podcast at gmail.com. And like I said, as always, continue to support the alternative media via our Cash App at $ Just Another Messenger. We're doing the work. People. We're getting the messages out. And we're going to be moving to another model where we're going to be recruiting 100 messengers for the platform. We have to get these things. We have to get this information out. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is very important that people see, because I look at a lot of YouTube videos and things of that nature, and even for myself, and I get a lot of people that give feedback saying, I wouldn't even be able to follow you if you didn't have the PowerPoints. But they appreciate the PowerPoints because it now allows them to go do their due diligence. So yes, don't believe me. Do your due diligence, do your homework. Now, this Saturn energy, this is the collapse of the old council. And as Saturn shifts towards Aries in the head, right? Aries is the head. We're talking about new authority rises, new systems start, new laws form, new structures of leadership emerge. That is the new council. So this transition from Pisces, Aries, is the transition from belief to action. That I believe, I throw that out the window. Throw it out the window. It ain't gonna be about what you believe no more. Your deeds, your action is all that's gonna matter. It's all gonna matter. You're gonna go from confusion to clarity. You're gonna understand now what has been hidden for years. You're gonna be very clear about your direction in life and in how building your estate, saving your family. Oh, this is your reparations right here. It starts with you. And it's gonna go from illusion to identity. All this be lacking proud. No, you're not gonna be lacking proud. No, 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 no. You're gonna know who you are without a doubt of contradiction. You're gonna know who you are, whose you are, and where you came from. Without a doubt of contradiction, and nobody gonna be able to throw you off your square. It's gonna go from empire back to your sovereignty. Can't you see a brand new day? Yeah, that's what's taking place. That's exactly what's taking place. And how is that going to happen? Let's go ahead and shift this thing. Let's shift this thing to in a global governance and AI regulation. So, astrologically speaking, AI is ruled by Uranus, which is technology, as well as Aquarius that deals with networks, and Mercury that deals with communication and intelligence. So this year, 2025 Cosmic Pattern Show, it shows attempt to centralize AI. So you had the three AI little fight going on, you had the data center wars going on and things like that. And the global councils forming around digital identity. They trying to get your digital ID. But all of that digital ID is connected to the spiritual nature. That's another episode right there. All right. New structures of regulation, public resistance, decentralization technologies rising, and sovereignty movements merging with technology. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to have fun with that. I'm going to tell you why I've started having fun with that, because I got injured back in April in Disney. And when I walked in Disney, I felt like I walked into someone else's mind. But then when I was getting ready to get on the game called Tron, and you have to bend over and all this and that, I injured myself at Disney with my great niece. So I was still trying to walk around acting like I wasn't hurt, but I was in so much pain. But after walking through the simulation of Tron, it helped to unlock, and it helped the creation when I was down of AI Tamara. So that's when you see the broadcast of AI Tamara for months when I was down. So yeah, I definitely enjoy playing with the sovereignty movements merging with technology. So when I couldn't be a voice and I was down and go live, AI Tamara was able to do that. And then AI Tamara also gives the introduction, because I like to just keep her alive in the broadcast. All right, so 2025 marks the first global attempt at digital governance. But Pluto in Aquarius is going to prevent any system from centralizing too much power. So, Elon, good luck. That ain't going to happen. All right, that's because the conflict of the decade, authority versus autonomy, is going to take shape. Surveillance versus sovereignty will take its place. Algorithmic truth versus cosmic truth will take its seat. So this is where your hidden zodiac and the government content hits directly. Now, this is going to be the collapse of the trust in institutional councils. Yeah. So we're right on the cusp of that. We're right here, collapse, boom. Every 250 years, cosmic cycles trigger the fall. And we're at that 250 years for the U.S. We're at that 200. July is going to boom. 250 years. There you go. Boop. There it is. Every 250 years, cosmic cycles triggers the fall of churches, What scandal is going on with the Black Church? Parliaments. Oh my God, the British Parliament is in a conundrum. Centralized government. Oh, the U.S. had to go into interrectum. And yeah, the signing of that document, that was fake. Don't believe that. Academic institutions falling, 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 falling. Media authorities, nobody's listening to mainstream media. They are dinosaur now because they're liars. All right. Now, the keepers of truth. The keepers of truth. If you're not keeping the truth in alignment with the cosmic realm, you're in trouble. You're going to be exposed real quick. Now, the last time we had this alignment, the U.S. was founded. So that means that, what was overthrown? That means the sovereign nations that got into bed with the United States plenipotentiaries because they ran from their king, their British king, and we allowed them asylum as opposed to them maintaining honor with their king. We gave them refuge to be in treason against their own government. And they said, if you'll do that, we're gonna learn government and we're gonna learn from you and we're gonna get strong and we're gonna overthrow you. That's how that happened. So that means that there was already standing governments on the land before they got overthrown by the people that they gave refuge to. So monarchy systems had collapsed. Enlightenment philosophy emerged and the people became their own council. Because there was no vote. There was not a vote of the people to create the U.S. dot. There was not any vote. There, in order to have a government is formed by a republic is formed by we the people. There must be evidence of the voting records. There must be evidence of certification of that. The U.S. government was formed by esquires. These private esquires and high merchants, they took authority themselves to create a society, to create a body politic, and usurped everyone into their plan. So in 2025, this cycle's reset. So what we're watching here, we're watching trust in media drop. That's what we're watching. We're watching trust in politics collapse. We're watching trust in education decline. Doing that, check. And we're watching trust in these banks shake. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Shaking to the core. And we're watching trust in religion fragment. Falling away. This is not chaos. This is what you call the cosmic cleansing. And the councils that dictated truth for centuries are being stripped of legitimacy because the new council is the awakened collective. You heard me? The new council is the awakened collective. So the unveiling of the great awakening, this is what happened with the reveal. With the reveal comes responsibility. It becomes hidden information becomes visible. Hidden information is definitely become business. Old systems lose legitimacy. And the cosmic feminine is going to return. The cosmic feminine definitely returns back to the people. That's what takes place. So with that being said, let's look at the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is this is a battle over sovereignty. This is a battle that's taking place. I've been saying it. I'm going to keep saying it till the hills come home. This is a battle over sovereignty. Are you going to take your place regarding your indigenous sovereignty and connect it back to the cosmic mother? or you're going to allow the continuation of foreign sovereignty to take place from generations to because you got to remember they get a reset now. So you got to get in. You got to get in position. Are you going to allow continuation of foreign sovereignty for another 250 years, as well as financial sovereignty? That is the bigger picture we're looking at here. Governing your mental, your government. That's the bigger picture. Now, as we're coming up to a close, last year when we first started, I know the Thanksgiving holiday is approaching us next week. Just Another Messenger will not air next Wednesday. In honor for preparation and things of that nature will not air. So last year we featured an episode. It was episode 6, and it was called Cause, Effect, and Cranberry Sauce, Manifesting Through Gratitude. Go check that out. That was a pretty good episode to get started. It was a special edition. And what it's deal with? It deals with being thankful, how to approach this episode. Because what has happened is we have allowed someone to provide a narrative to say, oh, there's a slaughter take place, so don't be thankful. Don't be thankful for the great cosmic mother and the food of nourishment that has been provided for your sustaining living. Don't be thankful about that, but you'll eat the day after that, the day after that, but on that day with the great harvest, the last great harvest, you don't want to be thankful. No. Approach this Thanksgiving with a hermetic mindset, seeing it as an opportunity to align your gratitude with universal laws. Go check it out and give yourself a reflective question. What ripple effects will your gratitude create this Thanksgiving? I started this last year, and I've been in a spirit of Thanksgiving the entire time since then. Did I encounter some little rough waters? Yeah, even though I can't swim, I can float. I floated on. So yeah, learn to be thankful. Look at that hermetic mindset of being thankful and connect to that. Also, coming soon, we're gonna get that fine print files together. Just Another Messenger. I was also featured. We started the Alchemy Hour with Dwayne Hendricks and Drew Keaton, and we had a special guest, Dr. Kazaya, like Messiah, and she talked about parasite cleanse. So I'm going to do a special recording, and then we're going to upload that. So after the first one is featured, but we're also going to start working on fine print files, and we're going to get into these unalienable, unconscionable contracts. All right, we're going to get into that. So, but the holidays approaching, continue to support also by shopping on our Etsy store at justanothermessenger.etsy.com. Now we've come full circle to this. From the Council of Nicaea to the Hidden Councils of 2025 to the Black Rite, to the return of the Cosmic Mother, to the unveiling of Isis, to the rise of sovereignty in the people. This journey ends not in history, not in politics, not in religion. It ends in the consciousness, because the old world is ending, the veil is dissolving, the truth is rising, and the new council is you. YOU. So the revolution is finally televised. So thank you for walking this entire arc with me. You were never meant to be governed by man-made counsel. You were meant to be guided by the cosmic truth. You were meant to rise, and now you are here. I am Tamara L., and this has been the unveiling, when heaven, earth, and empire meet their reckoning. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, as well as my personal page on Tamara L. on Facebook. And good night. I bid you a good night, farewell, and keep the light shining. Remember, we're not going live next Wednesday. All right. And we're going to play our intro again to take us out.
Yo, tuned in, it's that time again. Welcome to the show under the bright zen. Just another messenger bringing the news with the beat in your soul. Let's light up these views. We're diving deep, no time for snooze. Grab your headphones, let me share the clues. In a world so loud where voices collide, we find the rhythm, let the truth be our guide. Hit that play button, feel the vibe. Every second counts, let's take that ride. From stories untold to laughs we share. Just another messenger, we're always there. Hi. It's a jam, just sit back and unwind. With our flow and our style, it's one of a kind. Life's a mix, just like a DJ spins. We serve you the truth where the journey begins. It's a jam, we're all in this together. Sound waves linking us, no matter the weather. Just another messenger, we keeping it tight. With every single drop, we rise and ignite. Yeah.